Good afternoon, everyone. I will call to order the February 24th meeting of the State Allocation Board. Please call the roll.
Senator Hancock, Senator Liu, Senator Huff, Assemblymember Nazarian,
Present.
Assemblymember Bonilla,
Here.
Assemblymember Chavez, Nick Schweizer,
Here.
Cesar Diaz,
Here.
Daniel Kim,
Here.
Irina Ortega.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We have a very short consent-only agenda today, although we do have a number of public speakers who would like to speak on an item not on the agenda. So we will start with the consent agenda. Are there any comments from board members on the consent? Seeing none, is there any public comment on any of the items on consent? Okay, is there a motion?
Motion.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstentions? None. I will hold it open so Senator Hancock, who's just outside, can come in and add on. So we'll move to the public comment for items not on the agenda. The first name I have on the list here is Matthew McLean. If you could come on up. Yes, just at the table.
Thank you. Members of the board, I want to thank you first for allowing me time to speak. My name is Matthew McLean. I'm the Energy Conservation Supervisor for Fremont Unified School District in Fremont, California. I'm here representing James Morris, the superintendent of the district, who could not attend. He has a conflict with the school district board meeting tonight. So I have a prepared message that I was asked if I could read. The Fremont Unified School District respectfully requests that the State Allocation Board place an item on the next available agenda to make the determination that the state bond funds are not available for new school construction, since the Allocation Board is no longer approving apportionments for viable new school construction projects. This action will enable school districts like Fremont to begin levying Level 3 school impact fees on residential development projects in our boundaries. Additional capital funds are desperately needed in our district. School overcrowding has reached an all-time high due to the rapid and large-scale residential growth occurring in our boundaries. Currently, our district has over 2,000 students on waiting lists for seats in their neighborhood schools. We know that for this coming August, when school opens, we'll need at least 18 additional classrooms to accommodate resident students. Our school facility needs analysis demonstrates a need to build 5 new elementary schools, 1 new middle school, and 1 high school to accommodate residential enrollment growth. We simply do not have the funds to build the classrooms that we need. While we have attempted to work cooperatively with developers to gain assistance in mitigating the impacts of this growth, we have no leverage in statute to address this dire circumstances. However, the State Allocation Board has specific authority to increase developer fees to mitigate the impacts of new residential development. Level 2 developer fees at this time provide only about 30% of the dollars we need to assure that every child in our district has a safe and appropriate place to learn at a neighborhood school. We do have a local bond measure, Measure E, passed in 2014. However, those funds are for the upgrade and modernization of existing schools only. Seeking relief by renting additional portable classrooms would be counterproductive, a Band-Aid solution for a long-term problem. The State Allocation Board recognizes that at this time it can no longer make apportionments of state funds for new construction pursuant to the state school facility program. The board has an acknowledged list of new construction projects for which it has no funds to apportion. Grant applications for viable new construction projects exceed available funds by billions of dollars. Yet the State Allocation Board has not taken formal action to acknowledge the reality that it has no funds available that it may apportion to the new construction projects. We join with many other districts in the state of California respectfully requesting that the State Allocation Board fulfill its legal obligation to make the determination required by Government Code Section 65995.7 that state bond funds are not available, and to notify the Secretary of the State and the Chief Clerk of the Assembly in writing of this determination for publication in the respective journal of each House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Before we take any comments, I want to return, we had a motion on the consent calendar, and we have called for the vote. If you could call the absent members.
Yes, Senator Hancock, how do you vote on the consent calendar?
Aye.
Senator Liu?
Aye.
Assemblymember Chavez?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The motion passes. Now, are there any, we have additional speakers, I think, on the same topic, so maybe we should hear from everyone before anyone would like to make any comments. Next, we have some folks.
Well,
Go ahead, Senator Hancock.
Unfortunately, I have to go to a budget briefing.
Okay.
So thank you for letting me vote on the consent calendar. But I am very interested in this topic, and I hope that we can schedule it for our next meeting for a discussion.
Yep.
I don't know about next meeting, but there is something I saw on a future agenda.
Yes.
About development
It is
fees.
planned for a future agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we have we have some uncertainty about our next meeting. We had a meeting scheduled for March that may be postponed because the purpose of that meeting was a specific set of projects which may need a little more time to come together. So I don't think our next meeting is going to be until April, but we'll firm that up. Okay. So let's move on to the folks from Dublin Unified School District. The first name I have is Dr. Stephen Hankey. You're welcome to speak in any order. Just have the
Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Madam Chairperson, members of the board, thank you for hearing us today. My name is Steve Hankey. I am the superintendent in the Dublin Unified School District. Here with me today are three of our trustees. We have Board Vice President Megan Rouse is here. We have Trustee Amy Miller and Trustee Samir Hakim. I do want to make sure that I thank you for hearing us today. We are here for three reasons. First, we want to thank and remind the board to agendize the issue of SB 50 and developer fees just as soon as you possibly can. Second is to share an update with you about the conditions that we are facing in Dublin and the local measures that we are taking to manage the extraordinary growth that we are experiencing. And third is to share some thoughts with you on what we hope will be part of the conversation when this item is agendized. Trustee Samir Hakim will share with some information about this with you first, and thank you again.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and State Allocation Board members. My name is Samir Hakim. I'm a new trustee with the Dublin Unified School Board. First, it's an honor and privilege to be here today with my colleagues speaking to you all. Dublin School Board is a strong team focused on student learning. We addressed you in January to request an item about Level 3 fees and SB 50 reform. We thank you for that dialogue and looking forward to getting it agendized for discussion at a future meeting. I want to reassert that Dublin School Board strongly supports the $9 billion state facilities bond measure in November. We do need options for our schools in Dublin, for our Dublin community, a community which has proven to be extraordinarily supportive of our schools and the state bond. We ask you to support the state facilities bond. We ask you to encourage Governor Brown to support it as well. Thank you. I'll pass it to Megan for.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Megan Rouse, also with Dublin. Since we were here a month ago, we have grown in Dublin by about 30 students, a full classroom of growth in the last month. In fact, we grow by a full classroom every month. And if you think about it, that's a student a day coming into our district. This growth comes into a full district. Last night, our school board took action to close an impacted middle school to new enrollment, starting immediately. Previously, our board had expanded this school by 300 students, more than its original design. This impacts our ability to offer neighborhood schools to our community. Also last night, after a 6-month process, utilizing our Facilities Master Plan Committee. With 40 members, we had over 50 meetings, and incorporating the input of over 1,000 stakeholders, the board approved a second high school to meet our tremendous growth needs. This is contingent upon securing land and funding. Clearly, we cannot do this without state partnership.
Okay. Hi, I'm Amy Miller, also from Dublin Unified. We know that we've asked you now multiple times to agendize the item. To be clear, we are asking for reform of the state school facilities funding system, not repeal of SB 50. As you've heard, our district, like a handful of others, is growing at an unprecedented rate. We hope part of the conversation will include solutions such as a facilities relief target, similar to the economic recovery target that was implemented when LCFF came into effect, which provides funds targeted to districts where pace and magnitude of growth simply cannot be absorbed by available community resources. The system that currently exists with its related legislation is a one-size-fits-all, and unfortunately it doesn't fit Dublin. We hope you might consider developing criteria that can be implemented for enacting level 3 fees, and districts like Dublin and even our neighbors in Fremont can continue to provide adequate facilities for our students. In closing, we want to thank you again for taking the time to hear us today. We truly appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you all again, hopefully in April. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a quick question. Have you all had a local bond measure?
Yeah, we've passed over $283 million in local bond measures, and we're actually talking right now about putting one on the ballot in June. Yeah, and we've passed 2 parcel taxes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any further public comment to come before the board? Any comments from board members? Okay, seeing none, we'll be adjourned. Thank you.